a 35-year-old Bonteheuwel mother has been arrested by the Federal Bureau of Investigation for child pornography. The mother appeared at the Bishop Lavis Magistrates Court on Monday to face a string of charges. The charges are related to the sale of compromising pictures of a 4-year-old daughter. The FBI working on a joint operation with Homeland Security to try and gather information. For more on this story, we're joined now by Nasiphi Same, who is following this particular story. Nasiphi, a very good morning to you. As I say, quite a disturbing story. What would push a mother to do such a thing?
Quite a disturbing story indeed, Goli. As you mentioned, the FBI, together with Homeland Security and police and justice, worked or rather set up a trap regarding this specific incident where the 35-year-old mother was allegedly selling pictures of a 4-year-old daughter on the dark web, and that is when that arrest was effected. We understand that she was arrested around March, and she only made her first appearance at the Bishop Lavis Magistrates Court on Monday. The matter has been postponed for further investigation to the 19th of August. But I am joined here by the ward councillor Angus McKenzie to talk to us about what else do we not know about this case.
Look, I think the case is ongoing as it is. It's completely horrific that something like this has happened. While we do appreciate the work of the FBI and the Homeland Security's agencies, as well as the Department of Justice in the investigation, I think what concerned us more was the fact that this matter came to light, I think, sometime in March this year, and we've not been able to get any sort of support to this young girl and her siblings and the family. When we did become aware of this, obviously yesterday with the statement that was released, we immediately were then able to activate social development support. So while we're hearing a lot of stories that there is so much more involved in this case, possibly her siblings as well, possibly other family members, while we are hearing a lot of stories, it is an ongoing investigation, but we as a community thoroughly hope that the investigation is done to the best of its ability, because it really is disconcerting to have such individuals within communities not just doing it to other children, but effectively doing it to their own children. I think that is what shocked this community even more. And so while she has shamed her own family, she's effectively shamed 85,000 people of Bonteheuwel, because this is not who we are as a community.
What else do we know about the children? We understand that obviously their identity is utmost concern, that, you know, they aren't identified. But how are the children? I mean, you speak about a period of 5 months not being able to access these children and provide the necessary support to them.
I think it's important to acknowledge that when we became aware of this, I immediately contacted the Premier, Alan Wendy, and the Minister of Social Development, Shana Fernandez, highlighting how important it is for us to get in contact with these kids. What we then learned through that process was that the children, the family was split, so some of the kids went with the father and the other kids went, and the others went with some family in the area. What we can say today, because we've been able to go and assess the situation, is that the kids are in a safe place. The extent of the emotional abuse and the extent of the effect that it's going to have on the kids, we don't know at this point in time. But we are actively working to ensure that we're giving these kids the best possible opportunity to get through this very, very tragic situation.
Do we know what charges she's facing? Because we understand that there's a number of charges that are being investigated.
Look, I think up front it's very difficult to say, because she's not appeared in court for a bail hearing yet, and so we don't know what charges have been brought forward against her. But from the face of it, it would seem that there's a number of charges. There's child exploitation, there's possible sexual trafficking, there's child pornography. There's a number of these charges, and I think what will become clearer through the investigation is probably going to shock a whole lot more people as we continue. So we'll be keeping a close eye on this investigation, because not only does it affect affect this family, it affects this community. And I think what's really important about this is that as a community we actually need to stand up and say that something like this must never happen again. Not just in Bonteheuwel, not just in Cape Town, but across the world. And so we appreciate the work of the FBI in this regard, and one must thank them for their diligence in ensuring that we were able to nab this individual. But there are so many more of these sorts of stories happening, especially during trying times like COVID. People have lost their jobs, people have really been sunk into poverty and trying to find ways to make money. But you cannot make money exploiting children. You cannot make money exploiting your own kids. So we really do appreciate the work done, but we'd also have appreciated the fact that they were able to communicate with us sooner so that we would be in a position to be able to help these families as well.
Angus, you speak about how COVID-19 has exacerbated poverty. What options do parents have that live in this community to try and make ends meet? As a ward councillor, how are you assisting these families?
So I think we've done a lot of work around humanitarian relief, food parcels. We had one program through the VPU just recently where we invested almost 15 million rand in vouchers to vulnerable people in this community. We have a pool of volunteers that are constantly out on the roads, in and out of our schools through our walking bus program, our Women for Change program, community ambassadors. So the support structures are there. We have social workers on hand that are consistently available to assist families. What we're having a problem with is people putting up their hand and saying they have a problem. And one can imagine that people feel shameful. People that don't have anymore tend to feel shameful. But there is no shame in protecting your family. There's no shame in protecting your children. So it's really, really important to us that people raise their hands. We have the ability to help as much as we can. We have the structures in place to assist as much as we can. But people need to put their hand up and say, help, I need help.
Thank you so much. That is Angus McKenzie, the ward councillor of Bonteheuwel, just giving us, or rather painting a picture for us regarding this particular arrest. 35-year-old mother arrested by the FBI sometime in March. And from where we're standing, we understand that she did not live not too far from here, facing a string of charges. Mother of 5, allegedly posting or rather selling naked pictures of her 4-year-old daughter on the dark web. And the matter, as per NPA, has been postponed for further investigation to the 19th of August.